The heart has its reasons which reason knows not. All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. I have only made this letter longer because I have not had the time to make it shorter. Men never do evil so completely and cheerfully as when they do it from religious conviction. I would prefer an intelligent hell to a stupid paradise. People almost invariably arrive at their beliefs not on the basis of proof but on the basis of what they find attractive. Kind words don't cost much, yet they accomplish much. To make light of philosophy is to be a true philosopher. Curiosity is only vanity. We usually only want to know something so that we can talk about it. You always admire what you really don't understand. The heart has its reasons which reason knows nothing of. We know the truth not only by the reason, but by the heart. I made this letter very long, because I did not have the leisure to make it shorter. Truth is so obscure in these times, and falsehood so established, that, unless we love the truth, we cannot know it. I lay it down as a fact that if all men knew what others say of them, there would not be 4 friends in the world. All men seek happiness. This is without exception. Whatever different means they employ, they all tend to this end. The cause of some going to war, and of others avoiding it, is the same desire in both, attended with different views. The will never takes the least step but to this object. This is the motive of every action of every man, even of those who hang themselves. When one does not love too much, one does not love enough. Il n'est pas certain que tout soit incertain. The last thing one discovers in composing a work is what to put first. We are generally the better persuaded by the reasons we discover ourselves than by those given to us by others. It is man's natural sickness to believe that he possesses the truth. Dull minds are never either intuitive or mathematical. Do you wish people to think well of you? Don't speak well of yourself. Men's sensitivity to the little things and insensitivity to the greatest are the signs of a strange disorder. To ridicule philosophy is really to philosophize. Little things comfort us because little things distress us. If we submit everything to reason, our religion will be left with nothing mysterious or supernatural. If we offend the principles of reason, our religion will be absurd and ridiculous. There are 2 equally dangerous extremes: to exclude reason, to admit nothing but reason. Clarity of mind means clarity of passion, too. This is why a great and clear mind loves ardently and sees distinctly what it loves. Man is equally incapable of seeing the nothingness from which he emerges and the infinity in which he is engulfed. The greater intellect one has, the more originality one finds in men. Ordinary persons find no difference between men. few men speak humbly of humility, chastely of chastity, skeptically of skepticism. Belief is a wise wager. Granted that faith cannot be proved, what harm will come to you if you gamble on its truth and it proves false? If you gain all. If you lose nothing. Wager, then, without hesitation, that he exists. Love knows no limit to its endurance, no end to its trust, no fading of its hope. It can outlast anything. Love still stands when all else has fallen. Let each of us examine his thoughts. He will find them wholly concerned with the past or the future. We almost never think of the present, and if we do think of it, it is only to see what light it throws on our plans for the future. The present is never our end. The past and the present are our means, the future alone our end. Thus we never actually live, but hope to live, and since we are always planning how to be happy, it is inevitable that we should never be so. People are generally better persuaded by the reasons which they have themselves discovered than by those which have come into the mind of others. There are only two kinds of men, the righteous who think they are sinners and the sinners who think they are righteous. Can anything be stupider than that a man has the right to kill me because he lives on the other side of a river and his ruler has a quarrel with mine, though I have not quarreled with him? Men are so necessarily mad, that not to be mad would amount to another form of madness. To understand is to forgive. In difficult times carry something beautiful in your heart. There is a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of each man which cannot be satisfied by any created thing but only by God the Creator, made known through Jesus Christ. Justice without force is powerless, force without justice is tyrannical. The more I see of mankind, the more I prefer my dog. Man is only a reed, the weakest in nature, but he is a thinking reed. There is no need for the whole universe to take up arms to crush him. A vapor, a drop of water is enough to kill him. But even if the universe were to crush him, man would still be nobler than his slayer, because he knows that he is dying and the advantage the universe has over him. The universe knows none of this. Distraction is the only thing that consoles us for miseries, and yet it is itself the greatest of our miseries. Le silence éternel des espaces infinis m'effraie. The eternal silence of these infinite spaces frightens me. When I see the blind and wretched state of men, when I survey the whole universe in its deadness, and man left to himself with no light, as though lost in this corner of the universe without knowing who put him there, what he has to do, or what will become of him when he dies, incapable of knowing anything, I am moved to terror, like a man transported in his sleep to some terrifying desert island, who wakes up quite lost, with no means of escape. Then I marvel that so wretched a state does not drive people to despair. Le cœur se raison que la raison n'y connaît point. The eternal silence of these infinite spaces terrifies me. When I consider the brief span of my life absorbed into the eternity which precedes and will succeed it, memoria hospitis unius dii praeterantis, remembrance of a guest who tarried but a day, the small space I occupy and which I see swallowed up in the infinite immensity of spaces of which I know nothing and which know nothing of me, I take fright and am amazed to see myself here rather than there. There is no reason for me to be here rather than there, now rather than then. Who put me here? By whose command and act were this place and time allotted to me? Contradiction is not a sign of falsity, nor the lack of contradiction a sign of truth. Nature is an infinite sphere whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. Justice, might. It is right that what is just should be obeyed, it is necessary that what is strongest should be obeyed. Justice without might is helpless, might without justice is tyrannical. Justice without might is gainsaid, because there are always offenders. Might without justice is condemned. We must then combine justice and might, and for this end make what is just strong, or what is strong just. Justice is subject to dispute, might is easily recognized and is not disputed. So we cannot give might to justice, because might has gainsaid justice, and has declared that it is she herself who is just. And thus being unable to make what is just strong, we have made what is strong just. What a chimera is man! What a novelty, a monster, a chaos, a contradiction, a prodigy! Judge of all things, an imbecile worm, depository of truth, and sewer of error and doubt, the glory and refuse of the universe. I ask you neither for health nor for sickness, for life nor for death, but that you may dispose of my health and my sickness, my life and my death, for your glory. You alone know what is expedient for me, you are the sovereign master, do with me according to your will. Give to me, or take away from me, only conform my will to yours. I know but one thing, Lord, that it is good to follow you, and bad to offend you. Apart from that, I know not what is good or bad in anything. I know not which is most profitable to me, health or sickness, wealth or poverty, nor anything else in the world. That discernment is beyond the power of men or angels, and is hidden among the secrets of your providence, which I adore, but do not seek to fathom. All men's miseries derive from not being able to sit quiet in a room alone. Lust is the source of all our actions, and humanity. Nature has made all her truths independent of one another. Our art makes one dependent on the other. And is it not obvious that, just as it is a crime to disturb the peace when truth reigns, it is also a crime to remain at peace when the truth is being destroyed? The last function of reason is to recognize that there are an infinity of things which surpass it. Atheists. What grounds have they for saying that no one can rise from the dead? Which is harder, to be born or to rise again? That what has never been should be, or that what has been should be once more? Is it harder to come into existence than to come back? Habit makes us find the one easy, while lack of habit makes us find the other impossible.